श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्। ॐ सहना भवतु, सहनो भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। So there is a saying called Shreyamsi Bahuvignani. There are many obstacles to greatness. So whatever great things you do, there will be many obstacles. So like that, I have been troubled with electricity. There is this transformer which has a problem, and because of which in the evening, especially 2 days ago evening, whatever lights which I had switched on, tube lights, they burnt. I'm not using a word burning in the sense of sparks. It was burning. Okay. And yesterday morning it was okay. Today they are trying to resolve the issue, and I don't know. I think they have not yet resolved it. From morning 11 o'clock they have been at it. So the power supply is little. This is the first time I'm fighting this kind of issue here. Okay, anyway. स्वे स्वे कर्मण्यभिरतः संसिद्धिं लभते नरः स्वकर्मनिरतः स्वकर्मनिरतः सिद्धिं यथा विन्दति तच्छृणु. स्वे स्वे कर्मणि अभिरतः, one who is involved in one's own karma, samsiddhim labate, that naraha, that person, samsiddhim labate, gains this samsiddhi, this accomplishment. This accomplishment here, earlier samsiddhim he said with respect to Janaka, karmanyeva samsiddhim, karma, through karma itself they gained. Here the samsiddhi should be understood. Samsiddhi is not the accomplishment of the absolute. There also it is only the means. It gives the result which is the means for that absolute. This is purity of mind. Okay. So swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati tachno. This person who is involved in his karma, he gains this accomplishment. I will explain you how it is gained. Listen to me carefully. स्वे स्वे तत्तद वर्णाश्रम विहिते न तो स्वेच्छा मात्र कृते कर्मणि. Those karmas which are performed based on your varnas and your ashrama, and not something which you perform with your own ideas. Shruti smriti udite, that which is prescribed by Shruti and Smriti. Abhiratah samyak anusthana paraha, one who is involved. One who is involved means one who has the ability to perform it, and one who performs it nicely. Samsiddhim dehendriya sanghatasya ashuddhi kshayena samyak jnana utpatti yogyatam labhate. So samsiddhim, what is samsiddhi here? The body sense organ complex has some defects. That ashuddhi, that impurity, that is cleansed, and by cleansing that impurity, samyak jnana utpatti yogyatam, it gives him the eligibility to gain the right knowledge. Labhate naraha, that this person gets. Naraha means varnashrama abhimani manushyaha, only the person who is a human being and who has the identification with his varna and with his ashrama. Why are you talking about human being? Because manushya adhikaratvat shastrasya. Earlier we saw, here he says manushya adhikaritvat karma kandasya. The karma kanda, the shastra, is prescribed only for the manushya. Karma kanda earlier he said, shastra now he said. Shastra and karma kanda in this place is synonyms. Okay, why? Because he says, but wait, devatas, for them he says devadinam varnashrama abhimanitva abhavat yukta eva tad dharmeshu anadhikarah. So devas are not ones who, devas are people who don't have the identification with their own varna and ashrama. Therefore they are not involved in those dharma, those karma belonging to that varna and ashrama. See, who are devatas? Devatas are we people after death. If we perform good proper karmas, we go to the world of heavens and become deities. Now, what happens there? There, वर्णाशना अभिमान अनपेक्षे तु उपासनादौ अधिकारः तेषाम् अपि अस्ति इति साधितं देवताधिकरणे. In देवताधिकरण, see, if they, then does that mean like the cat, mouse, or dog, pigs, etc.? These devatas are also useless people, only for experience, enjoyment they can take that embodiment? No. Devatas are little better than them. How? Their body is not just for embodied experience, but also to gain the knowledge. Because it is said in the Kena Upanishad, etc., where the deities have Rthmas Parshuhu, etc. It is said. See, he saw it first, he touched it first, he spoke with it first, and in this way it was said. So, they have the eligibility to gain the knowledge also. And Indra, Virochana Adhikarana very clearly establishes that Indra is also eligible. The Lord of Deities, he is also eligible for the Jnana. But without that, without the see, who is going to initiate them into sacred thread? Because without sacred thread, they are not going to be performing the karma. They are not eligible to perform the karma, right? So, who is going to initiate them into? This aspect is described in the Devata Adhikarana. In Brahma Sutra, there is a topic discussing the eligibility of deities. Why did it come? Because there is Shudra Adhikarana. See, Apashudra Adhikarana, do the Shudras have eligibility or not? No, they don't have. No, they have, because the Manushya, they are human beings, therefore they are eligible for. No, they don't have, because they are not initiated into the sacred ceremony, etc. Then next comes Devata Adhikarana. Devatas are also not eligible for karmas. Why? Because they are also not initiated in sacred ceremony. In this way, when the operant says, then we say, no, you gain the body of a deity not just because of this karma alone, from of the past karmas. And once you are there you see this birth, you are a Shudra, you are a Vaishya, you are a Kshatriya, you are a Brahmana, does not really matter. What matters is there, when you look back in your past birth, somewhere you have performed all these karmas. So that eligibility is carried forward in that embodiment of deity. Otherwise, what is the specialty of being a deity? Right? So they may not be able to perform the karmas, but they are definitely eligible for performing the upasanas. That is said there. That is said there in the Devata Adhikarana. That is what he says here. Upasaneshu Adhikaraha. They have the eligibility for upasana. No. Bandha hetunam karmanam katham moksha hetutvam upaya visheshad ityaha. How can the karmas which are cause for bondage become means for realization, means for liberation? Then we say it is because of a speciality. What is speciality? Like a knife can be used to cut a person, to cut vegetables. Both similarly here also. Swakarma nirataha siddhim mukta lakshanam yatha yena prakarena vindati tachruno shutva tam prakaram avadhariti. So, by performing one's own karmas, in which way he is going to gain that siddhi, that accomplishment, that I am going to explain. Listen to me, and after listening, keep it in your mind and follow it. Yatah pravrittirbhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam स्वकर्मणा तमभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः. यतः प्रवृत्तिः भूतानां येन सर्वम् इदं ततं स्वकर्मणा तम अभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानवः. What should I do then? Yatah pravritti bhutanam, from which all the bhutas, all the beings, existence, whatever is in existence here came into existence. Yena sarvam idam tatam, by which everything here is engulfed. Swakarmana tam abhyarchya, worship him, tam, worship that's one which is the cause for everything and which has engulfed everything through your karmas. By doing that, siddhim vindati manava, this human, he gains siddhi, the accomplishment of purity of mind. Yataha means fifth case. From which means maya upadhika chaitanya ananda ghanat, that which has the embodiment of maya. We, Jiva, are embodiment of avidya. Ishvara is embodiment of Maya. If we understand Ishvara and Jiva, Maya and Avidya to be one, then Ekajivada, you are that Maya Vachana Chaitanya, right? So that one which is embodied by Maya, Sarvajna, Sarvashaktehe, one who is omnipotent and omniscient, Ishvara. From that Ishvara, Upadana Nimittacha, who is both material cause as well as instrumental cause. We already said if he is going to be only material cause, then he is going to give the materials to someone. He is going to become a material to some creator who is instrumental cause. Then this fellow loses being the state of being Ishvara. And if he is only instrumental cause and going to depend upon someone for the materials, then still he is not Ishvara. If he is partly going to convert himself to be material, then he is undergoing transformation, therefore he is not Ishvara. If he is totally converting himself into creation, then again, still, because he has converted himself, there is no Ishvara. Right? So all these troubles are there. So based on that, he says he is both material cause as well as, but how is it possible? Both material cause and we'll say, he says, Sarvantaryaminaha pravartir utpattir mayavi. For this Sarvantaryami, the cause, creation is a Mayamayi, is illusory. Magical, illusory. Illusory means, he says, Swapna Rathadinamiva, like the dream chariot, etc., the dream house, etc. Bhutana means Bhavana Dharmanam, Akashadinam, whatever that has existence, the space, etc., the stone, etc., everything. येन च एकेन सद्रूपेण स्फुरणरूपेण च सर्वमिदं दृश्यजातं त्रिषु अपि कालेषु ततं व्याप्तं, by which all these beings which has existence and which has experience. Stone exists. Stone is seen, experienced. So whatever you see in this world, they all those which are perceived, all that which is drishya, seen, they are all, in all the three periods, they are pervaded by this self, vyaptam, swatmanyeva antravitam. Meaning, this is not pervading that, all that is existing in this. That is the idea. Okay? How? Kasmin in kalpitam. Antarbhavita means kalpitasya adhisthana anarthirekat. Whatever is imagined, superimposed, they don't exist other than the substratum. The substratum is the real existence. There is nothing other than substratum for the superimposition. Superimposed. Tatacha, how do you know this? This is what the Shruti says about this thing. Yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yat prayanti visamshanti, tad vijiknyasasva tat brahmeti. So, from which everything comes into existence, by which everything is sustained, and into which everything merges, know that to be the Brahman. Okay, that is what the father told the disciple, the student, son. So, atra yata iti prakartau panchami. Yataha from which, that is the cause, that panchami in the sense of cause. Okay, yato yena iti cha ekatvam vikshitam. Yataha fifth case and yena third case. Fifth case is material and third case is prakriti, here is material cause. The third case is instrumental cause. So both material cause and instrumental cause, they are set with yataha and yena. Okay. Anando brahmeti vyajanat anandatyeva khal vimani bhutani jayante iti cha tasya nirnaya vakyam. And what is that? That absolute bliss is the self. So he understood that. After understanding that he is absolute bliss, he didn't go back to his father. Otherwise, every other place he'll say Varunam Pitram Upasasara Ajibho Varmeti, like that. He'll go on again and again to ask, what is that? I have understood this. Is this Brahman? No. Maya antu prakritim vidyat mayanantu maheshwaram ityadi shutyantaracha maya upadhilabha. And we know there is a word called Maya. These people who study Vedanta, they have a big trouble in accepting Maya. Where is Maya said in the Shruti? And some place, when we went to some lecture, I was there sitting on the dais. I was with another Swami, and there was a question put to him. Is there anywhere where the Maya is said? And he was little confused. He was zapped actually. What is happening here? So he was looking at me. I said, shall I answer? I said, okay. Maya antu prakritim vidyat mayanantu maheshwaram. It is said in the Shruti. What more you want? Maya is used in Shruti. So the question was more than to know, it was to make fun of this person, make fun of sannyasis. Meaning, Maya is not there in Veda anywhere. This Vedantis, they cheat by using this Maya. Maya is said in the Shruti. So that is the idea. So ityadi Shrutyantaracha Maya Upadilabha. The Maya embodiment is seen in the Shruti very clearly. Yes, sarvajnah sarvavit ityadi Shrutyantrat sarvajnatvadilabha. And yes, sarvajnah sarvavit there, yes, jnanamayam tapah. In this way, it is very clearly he is said to be omniscient, omnipotent, and all that. So that is also understood from the Shruti itself. एवं च श्रौतः एव अयम् अर्थः भगवता prakashita. Therefore, whatever is said in the Shruti is what Bhagavan has established in this shloka. Yataha pravrittihi bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatamiti. So whatever has come in from whichever everything has come into existence and by which everything is sustained, etc. Everything is sustained, everything is pervaded, etc. It's all from the Vedic knowledge. Tatam tam antaryaminam bhagavantam swakarmana prativarnashramam vihitena abhyarchya. So that Bhagavan, by the karma which is prescribed for your varna and ashrama, by worshipping him, toshitva. Why do you worship him? To make him pleased. That is why when we do in Sandhya Vandana, etc., all the karmas, any karmas, we do something called sankalpa. We hold hands like that and we do sankalpa. Amapata samasta durakshaya dvara shri parameshwara prityartham. We say, we do karmas for what? For the sake of pleasing the Bhagavan, for his grace. So therefore, by making him happy, by gaining his grace, tat prasadat, by gaining his grace, Aikatmya Jnana Nishtha Yogyata Lakshanam. You gain the eligibility for the absolute self, not the eligibility, it's not this absolute knowledge itself. Siddhim, that is the Siddhi here. The eligibility, the prerequisite for the eligibility. What is that? Antakarana Shuddhim Vindati. He gains the purity of mind, which is the eligibility to gain establishment in the absolute self. That eligibility he gains, purity of mind. Manavaha Devadishu Upasana Matriniti. So by performing the karmas, human beings gain. With respect to the Devatas, they gain that by Upasana itself. They don't perform the karmas. That is the idea. Okay. Yataha Swadharma Eva Manushyanam Bhagavat Prasada Hetu. Because only by performing one's own karma, the human beings can gain the grace of Bhagavan. So that is why it is said here. श्रेयान् स्वधर्मो विगुणः परधर्मात् स्वनुष्ठितात् स्वभावनियतं कर्म कुर्वन्नाप्नोति किल्बिषम्. Earlier he said स्वधर्मे निधनं श्रेयः परधर्मो भयावह. Even death is welcome when practicing one's own dharma, but the other's dharma, even if it is practiced very nicely, it is bhayavaha. He is repeating that idea here. He is saying, Shreyan Swadharmo Vigunaha. Even if it is not perfect, performing your own dharma is best. Paradharmat Sunashtitat. Even then performing the other's dharma in a better way. Subhavaniyatam karma kurvan. By performing the karmas which are prescribed for your nature, your guna, na apnoti kilvisham. You don't gain any sin. Paradharmat samyak anushthitadapi shreyan prashastitaraha swadharmaha vigunaha asamyak anushthitahopi. So then the karmas which are not yours performed in a better way, the karmas which are not performed in better way, those karmas which are yours is better. Karmas which are not yours, performing it in better way is not better. It is better for you to perform the karmas which are prescribed to you. That is the best option here. Tasma, therefore, kshatriyatvena kshatriyena sata tvaya swadharmaha yujjadihi eva anushtheya na paradharmaha bhikshatanadihi iti abhipraya. So he asked for, can I go for doing bhiksha, etc., instead of fighting these people? Let me throw this, all that, and let me become a mendicant. That is what he asked. So for that he says, now he is answering, even performing your own karma is better than going for bhiksha, etc. Performing which is not yours. Performing your own karma is better than performing the others' karma, which is bhikshatana, etc. Which is prescribed for Brahmins. That is not good. No. And sannyasis. No. Swadharmopi. Yuddhadi bandhuvadadi pratyavaya hetutvat non-stheti. And he already said, even if I am going to perform my own dharma, then it is killing my own family. How can that be good? For that he says, then it is defective, it is sin, right? Naityaha. Bhagavan says, no, it is not sin. Why? Swabhavaniyatam buroktam shauryam teja ityadi swabhavajam yuddhadi. Swabhavaniyatam, whatever is inherent for you, your guna, which is a shauryam, veeram, teja ityadi, valor, strength, etc. Whatever we saw, that, and through that whatever is born, swabhavajam, which is yuddha, etc. Those karmas. According to your guna, whatever karmas are gained, those karmas, kurvan, by performing them, kilvisham papam bandhu adhadi nimittam na prapnoti. You won't get the sin which is caused by killing your relatives, etc. Tatha prag vyakyatam sukha dukhe samaye krutva ityatra. And we have already explained this in sukha dukhe samaye krutva labha labho jaya jayo, etc. in that place. Vihita jyotishthoma anga pashu himsayah iva vihita yuddha anga bandhu himsayah api pratyavaya hetutva abhavat. Like the Vedi, the place of performing the karma for a Brahmin is called Vedi. That Vedi, the place where the karmas are performed, when you perform Jyotishtoma, in that Jyotishtoma, Pashu Malabhet, you have to cut a cattle. Now, that is not accepted as violence, that will not incur any sin. Similarly, for a Kshatriya, the Vedi, the place of performing his karma is a battlefield. So, killing somebody in battlefield is not a sin. And in fact, if you die, it is also said you will go to heaven directly. So, tatha chauktam adastat. We have already established this earlier. Yasmadevam vihita himsadehe na pratyavaya hetuttam paradharmascha bhayavaha samani doshena cha sarva karmani dushtani. Since it was already said, performing your vihita himsa, while performing the karmas, whatever himsa, violence you see, that does not generate any pratyavaya. And the others karmas, even if it is without any of these defects, it is bhayavaha. It is going to beget fear here and hereafter. Therefore, because all the karmas are basically defective. Karmas means defect. That is why tasmad agno varnashrama. Therefore, this fellow who is ignorant and he has identification with his own varna and ashrama, what should he do? Sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamapi natyajet sarvarambha hi doshena dhumena agnirav eva avrta. Sahajam karma kaunteya. He Kunti putra, sahajam karma sadoshamapi natyajet. Sahajam karma, whatever is inherent nature for you and whatever that karma which you get because of that inherent nature, those karmas, though they are defective, should not give up. You should not give up. Sarvarambha hi doshena. All the karmas which you begin, they are all defective, basically. Like all the fire which are engulfed by smoke. So, fire is engulfed by smoke. Similarly, karmas are engulfed by defect. So, there is no escape from that. He kaunteya. Sahajam. Swabhavajam karma sadoshapi vihita himsa yuktam api jyodishtama yuddhadi natyajat. Hey son of Kunti, though the karmas which are naturally for you, those karmas, whether they are endowed with some defects like killing cattle, etc., still don't give it up. Karanashuddhehe pragbhavan anyova. For the sake of purity, antakaranashuddhehe, for the sake of purity of mind, whether it is you or someone else, you should not give up. Nahi anatmakyah kasyat kshanamapi karmani akritva statum shaknoti. And an ignorant cannot give up all the karmas and stay without performing the karmas. We have already said this. Nacha paradharma anushtishthan api doshan uchyate. Doshan uchyate. See, no. I am not performing that karma, but I am performing a different karma. So what is the problem? I am meditating instead of doing sandhya vandana. All that is stupidity. Because even that karma is defective. So he says, so whether your karma or your others' karma which you perform, they are all defective. That is the idea. Sarvarambha swadharma paradharmascha sarvehi yasma doshena turunatmakatvena samanena avrataha vyaptaha sadoshaiva. So all the karmas, whichever you perform, whether yours or somebody else, the karmas which you perform, they are all trigunatmaka. Guna, guneshu vartante. We already saw all the gunas exist in the gunas. So therefore, since they are trigunatmaka means defective. All the three gunas associated with three gunas means defect. That itself is a defect. So they are all engulfed by that. Tathacha prag vyakyatam. This we have already established earlier. Parinama tapa samskaraihi gunavritti virodhacha dukhameva sarvam vivekinah. This was explained in Yoga Sutra, and this was explained in 6th chapter, where the whole of Yoga Sutra was brought in. Like we brought in the Bhurumimamsa, almost the whole idea of Bhurumimamsa. Bhurumimamsa means Shabdibana, Arthivana, these works, Vidhis, and the Namadaya, which was all discussed earlier. So similarly, in 6th chapter, we saw almost all the sutras of Yoga Sutra. So there he said, Parinama, Tapa, Samskara. There are three types of sorrows. And all that is seen by the yogis. And therefore for yogis, everything, whatever he sees, whatever happiness he sees, they are all defective. And that is why in Yoga Sutra Bhashya, there is a place where this Acharya called Jaigishavya. So he is asked this question by his disciple. Okay, because he remembers many past lives, some 10,000 lives or so, he remembers all that. So he asks him, okay, now since you remember so many of your past births, which according to you is the best happiness? He, without blinking his eye, he says, Sarvam Dukkham Eva. Whatever experience I have had, it is all only sorrow. That is why he says, Yogi Vivekinaha Dukkham Eva Sarvam. For the person who has discrimination, everything is endowed with sorrow. There is nothing which can be called as bliss here in this world. Tasmat Agatya Anatmagya Karmani Kurvan Vijaya Kritam Vishaja Krimiriva Visham Sahajam Karma Yuddhadi. Like, therefore, you perform the ignorant one performing his karmas, like something which is born out of poison should be poison. Something which is born out of a snake will be poisonous snake. Something which is born out of a poisonous scorpion will be a poisonous scorpion. There can be no choice here. Therefore, you also sahajam. For you also sahajam karma yuddhadi. Your inherent karma is yuddha, etc. Therefore, trunatmatvena samanyena bandhu vadhadi nimittena cha visheshena cha sadoshapi. Though it is defective both generally and specifically. Generally, because it is trigunatmaka, it has all the three gunas, and specifically because you are killing your relatives, friends, etc. Therefore, though it is so, natyajet sarva karmatyaga asamarthatva. Don't give up, because you are not eligible for giving up the karmas. Sarva karma Tyaga samarthastu shuddhanta karanaha tyajet eva ityabhipraya. But a person who then is there nobody who is eligible? Yes, there are people eligible for sarva karma tyaga, giving up all the karmas, taking sannyasa. Who? A person who has purity of mind. If a person has purity of mind, he should give up all the karmas. That is the idea here. Ka puna sarva karma tyaga samartha. Who is then capable of giving up all the karmas? Yo nityanitya vastu vekaha Vivekajena Ihamutrartha Bhoga Vairagyena Shamadamai Sampannaha Karmajam Siddhim Ashuddhikshaya Parikshaya Dwara Mumukshuhu Shas Shuddha Brahmatmaikya Vijjignasam Praptaha. So one, through the discrimination of what is eternal and what is non-eternal, gaining the dispassion of things of here and hereafter, and because of which he gains the Shamadama, etc., all the prerequisite. That kind of person who has who by the purity of mind gained the desire for the moksha, which is the gaining of absolute bliss, absolute self, that sa sweshta moksha hetu brahmatmaikya jnana sadhana. So for gaining his desired object, which is a identification with that absolute self, the means is a jnana. And as the jnana, for jnana as the means, he needs to perform the Vedanta Vakya Vichara, Vedanta Vakya Shravanadi Kartum. For performing that Vedanta Vakya Shravana, etc., Sarva Vikshepa Nivritya Tat Shesha Bhutam Sarva Karma Sanyasam Shruti Smriti Vihitam. For getting rid of all the distractions, the Shruti has prescribed for that person to perform focusedly the Vichara, Shravana Manana, etc. Because Sanyasya Shravanam Kuryat. After Sanyasa, you have to only perform Shravana. Sanyasa is not a religion. Sanyasa is not a party. There, when are you taking Sanyasa? When are you taking Sanyasa? That's a stupid question. Don't make people add on to your party of being a sannyasa. Sannyasi is a state of existence. So he says, this person, tat shesha bhutam karma sarva vikshepa, by getting this vikshepa, avarana vikshepa, etc., that the vikshepa, for getting this obstacle of a distraction, he should have to give up all the karmas. That is what prescribed by the Shruti and Smriti. तस्मात् एवं विच्छान्तो दान्तो प्रतिदिक्षुः समाहितो भूत्वा आत्मन्येवात्मानं पश्येत् इति श्रुतिः. The Shruti says, therefore this person who has all these prerequisites, he should have to see the self in the self. First self is a self in the self. Self is self. In the self means in the mind. Through his mind, he should have to see only the self. Mind which is pure, without any distraction. सत्यानृते सुखदुःखे वेदान इमं लोकममुं च परित्यज्य आत्मानं अन्विच्छेत्. By giving up the truth and false, and giving up the happiness and sorrow, by giving up this world and the other world, this world of Veda and other world of experience, this person should have to inquire into the self. He should have to search only the self. Atmanam anvichya. He should have to search only for the self. Smrtescha. Smrti is also, there are hundreds of smritis with reference to this. Uparata tyakta sarva karma. Uparata means one who has given up all the karmas. Bhutva, after being that. Atmanam pashyet. You have to see only the Atma, the self. Atma darshanaya Vedanta vakyani vicharayet iti shutyatha. Meaning, see the self means, if you see the self, self also becomes drishya, object. Therefore, it will not be self. So what he says is, for gaining the immediate knowledge of the self, start performing the inquiry into the statements of the Vedanta. Etadrisha eva brahma sanstho amartatvam eti iti shruttya dharma skandha traya vilakshanattvena pratipadita. This is what is established by brahma sanstho amartatvam eti shruti. One who is established in the Brahman, he gains the immortality by getting rid of all the dharma skandhas from him. Paramsa Parivrajaka. This Paramhamsa Parivrajaka, what should he have to do? This sannyasi, what should he have to do? Paramhamsa Parivrajakam Krutakatyam Gurum Upasatya. He has to approach a sannyasi who is a Krutakatya, who has gained whatever needs to be gained, and Vedanta Vakya Vichara Samarthaha Yam Uddishya Athato Brahma Jignasa Ityadi Chatur Lakshana Mimamsa. This 4th chapter Mimamsa, which begins with these Vedanta sutras, which begins with Athato Brahma Jignasa, written by Bhagavata Badarayana. So Bhagavan Badarayana, who has written that sutra for this fellow, who has gained this focus and who has approached his guru, for sake of him doing the Vedanta Vakya Vichara, the inquiry into the Vedanta, it was said, Samarambhi. He has begun this 4th-chaptered sutra. Kidrisha also. What kind of person you are talking about? For that he says, Asakta buddhis sarvatra jitatma vigataspruha naishkarma siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. Asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigataspruha naishkarma siddhim paramam sanyasena adhigacchati. Asakta buddhi, one who is not attached. Sarvatra, with anything. Jita Atma, one who has controlled the body sense organ complex, the mind. Vigata Spraha, one who is not attached to anything. Naishkarmi Siddhim Paramam, the absolute Siddhi, accomplishment which is Naishkarmya, which is not associated with any karma, the self, he gains. Sannyasa, he gains through the sannyasa. Okay? Sarvatra. Sarvatra means putra dharadishu. In the son, wife, etc. Shakti nimitteshu, where you are attached, where there is a possibility of gaining attachment. Asakta buddhi, aham eva, mama, aham esham, mama eta, ete, iti abhishvanga rahitah. Buddhi yasya. The attachment means I belong to them, they belong to me. This kind of idea that you should not have. Yatah jitatma vishebhyo pratyahritya vashīkrita antakarana. Jitatma, he has gained his. How can he be? Because he has gained control over his mind. Jitatma vashīkrita antakarana, he has controlled his mind. Vishaya para vishaya rage sati katham pratyaharanam tatraha. When he is attached to the objects, how can there be this pratyahara, taking the mind away from the objects? For that he says vigata spruha, he has no attachments with the sense objects. Deha jivita bhogeshu api vancharahita, even for those objects which are expected for his existence, even that he is not desiring. Sarvadrishyeshu doshadarshanena nitya bodha paramananda rupa moksha guna darshanena cha sarvato virakta ityartha. See, he sees in everything the defect, and only the good thing he sees as is the absolute self. The identification with the absolute. Only that he sees as the good. Everything else he sees as defective. Sa sarvato virakta ityartha, meaning he is one who has complete dispassion. Ya evam shuddha antakarana, one who is in this way, one who has this kind of purity of mind, he स्वकर्मणा तम अभ्यर्च्य सिद्धिं विन्दति मानम इति वचन प्रतिपादितां कर्मजाम अपराम सिद्धिं ज्ञान साधन वेदांत वाक्य विचाराधिकार लक्षणां ज्ञान निष्ठा योग्यता. So, as said earlier, one who performs through one's own prescribed karmas, that person gains the eligibility for the knowledge and eligibility for being established in that knowledge. Without the purity of mind, you can never be eligible for the knowledge or gain establishment in the knowledge. Saha sannyasena. Through that sannyasa, shikha yajna. What is sannyasa here? Shikha yajno pavitadi sahita sarva karma tyagena. Giving up all the karmas, which is tuft, the yajno pavitadi, sacred thread, etc. All that, along with that. Because for karma, you need tuft and sacred thread, etc. You give up all that along with, which is the means. It is not end. Understand that. Hetuna tatpurvakame vichare. By taking that sannyasa, he should have to do the inquiry. Naishkarmi Siddhim. What is Naishkarmi Siddhi? Naishkarmi Siddhi is a name of a text also. Why did he name that text Naishkarmi Siddhi? Nishkama Brahma. Nishkaryam Brahma. Nishkarma Brahma. Brahma is not gained through any karma. So, it is Brahman is self is not associated with any karma. Therefore, tad vishayam vichara parishpannam. That which is gained through the inquiry, the knowledge is gained of that Brahman through the inquiry, that jnana, naishkarmya. That is what is called as, that knowledge is called as naishkarmya. Tad rupam siddhim, that is the accomplishment. Paramam, greatest of accomplishment at that. Karma jata aparama siddhi. From what? Greatest means something should be opposite to it. Antonym to it. So he says the aparamam, which is the siddhi, accomplishment gained through the karmas. With respect to that, this is superior. Falabhutam adhikachate. He gains it as a result. Result of what? Sadhana paripakena prapnoti. Result of his completion of the sadhanas. Fructification of the sadhanas. Athava. Or there is another way to interpret this. Sannyasena iti itham bhuta lakshani tridya. Sannyasena. This is third case. Ena. Okay. This itham bhuta. In this way he is. In this specific way he is. To show that itham bhute. Itham bhuta lakshane. This Panini Sutra. Third case is used. In this specific way he is. To show that third case is used. Sarva karma sannyasa. Rupam Naishkarma Siddhim. He gains that Naishkarma Siddhi, which is giving up all the karmas. Brahma Sakshatkara Yogyatam, which gives you the eligibility to gain the identification with the absolute self. That Nairgunya Lakshanam Siddhim Paramam. He gains that Nairgunya Lakshana, that which is without any association with gunas, etc. That state, Purvasthaha Siddhehe Satvikyaha. With respect to the Paramam, it's superior. Superior to what? With respect to all the other accomplishments which you gain in this world. Satvikyaha Falabhutam Adhikachati. Because all that is gained through the Rajasic and Tamasic activities. Here you are gaining it through the Sattvic quality. Therefore, this is superior. That is the idea. Okay. I didn't want the internet or the power of the laptop to cut. So I had to rush through a little. We'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avshishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.